In other words, there's no way that you're going to become an instant dog trainer that I ever knew of, you know.
How often do you see a dog that's kind of a laid-back dog that just kind of the point of the thing that hunts all right, but it's not really hard driven at a year, that is at 2 years a real aggressive dog hunting?
Well, some dogs, the more you expose them, the more they come along.
They do
You know
come,
what I mean?
do
Yeah.
some of them do come out of that.
Yeah. The force breaking is a form of obedience.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I believe it. I just
Every dog, if a guy wants a good dog, you should force break. Take him off birds and force break.
he's
Not talk, and I'll do all the talking, you know, and show you what you can do with a dog by not talking to him, and how you can teach him to stand up, take the timidness out of him, and everything.
Well, it'll work as many as you want to.
Now this is kind of a crash program, and it would be a crash program which you wouldn't want to do, you know, ordinarily. You work at it longer than that. But it shows you what you can do with a dog, because you can make him stand up and not be timid. The same as you can make him timid by, he's always going to be intimidated. He'll point with his tail down, or let his tail down when you start to come in, or he'll look like this, or you're going to hit you over the head with something. And he's going to give you some indication that you put too much pressure on him.
Has anyone ever seen that video that Gun Dog Magazine with Purina and a couple people made?
Never read a training book. One thing, I'm kind of stupid, I guess, and I wouldn't understand it. Only way you're going to learn to train dogs is to listen, observe, and do it. This is a do-it-yourself deal, in other words. But if you don't know, if you didn't know that car there from that kennel out there, and somebody told you the car was a kennel, you'd say, yeah, I understand how it's done. It's kind of a foreign object, you know, because you have no technique, you don't know how to start in or nothing. You have that sinking feeling that my goodness, I know I should do something, but I don't know what to do. And the only way you're going to get over that is work with dogs, work with people that does know about dogs, and don't pick up the bad habits that everybody else has. In other words, you know, we create a lot of bad habits ourselves when we're working with dogs, and we don't even know we're doing it. And you keep doing it, and finally you kind of get a little dog broken, and you say, well, this is the way to do it. So you start hammering and jumping and thumping on everyone that you get a hold of, and it don't work that way. It's all done, like the guy says in there, with a rope. You teach the dog with a rope. If you can't teach him to do it here, he ain't gonna do it out there. So you have to start something. In other words, you gotta be, like the joke, you gotta show him one more time. Let me mess with it a little bit. Name Christian?
Chris.
Yes? Let me get here, Chris. Come here. Come here. Here. Come here. Come here. Yes, here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You take the timidness out of her by doing her just like this. In other words, where she'll mind you, she'll come to you. Just come here. Here, come here. Come here. Come here. Over here. Come on, here. Here. Always better. Come here. Come here. See her turning there? See her turning there? You train your dog. Train your dog with a normal voice. And I'll tell you the reason why. He'll mind you in a normal voice. If you have to hit high tenor before you're going to do anything, and that's where you're wrong. Because you tell a dog, you'll say, come here. Then that you say, come here. Then here, come here, you know. Then the dog responds, because that's when you're going to knock the tar out. Here. Over here. Come here. Come here. Come here. See, now you can take the timidness out of this dog by doing that. And the dog talks to her normal voice, and she'll start minding. Now, this dog don't know anybody. Here, come here. Here, come here. Come on, here. Come on. Here, come here. Come here, here. Come here, here. Come here, here. Now this little dog, just a few lessons like this, and you speak to her, and she'll come to you, and her acting timid and wanting to sit down and lay down and everything, it's all done right here like this, by petting her, and making her stand up, and handling her. And you walk away from her, and walk back, and pet her, and stroke her, and she's not gonna be afraid of you. You walk all around her, and you get going back to her, and she's not afraid you're gonna hammer on her, because you're... Don't talk to them, they don't understand that anyway. I ain't done that yet, but I'm going to.
Right.
In other words, you don't make, things don't happen all at once.
Exactly.
The dog's a little bit hesitant, but I keep petting her, and directly she'll come all the way to me and go right up my side here, see? In other words, like I told you, there's no quick solution in this thing. This is just a method.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Hey, does that just come up with birds or with what?
Well, a lot of dogs, you know, you have a hard time getting this dog tail up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In other words,
Maybe for a couple of weeks.
this dog here don't have much of a tail.
What she does.
And now, you messing with them all the time like this, and stand around with them, and you start right with them, and they get where they'll stand around and they're not intimidated. You see what I mean? Because you handle them and messed with them, and I got a little black pup out. He has to have some nature like that. But if he has a nature like that, when you finish with him, he's gonna look like that. You understand what I'm talking about? So you can't make a dog look any better than he naturally looks. In other words, if he's a dog with his tail down like this, and it's his natural way of doing it, you push up on it, and his tail comes this far, it's like your finger. And it don't want to go any farther, you ain't gonna make it go any farther. When you lift up on a dog's tail and you see the pressure start like this, that's as high as that dog's gonna get his tail.
That little dog.
Shouldn't make it look worse, you make it at least stay as good as it is, see?
Bill,
Well,
last night at we were eating, we were talking about when the dogs were on point and people stroking the dog's tail.
you shouldn't leave a dog alone.
Get that out.
When he hits that bird and he's solid that way, you know. Now, there's times with a young dog, and I might just walk by him this way and just raise his tail up and just walk right on by him. But don't mess with him, because when you do, you break his concentration, and his mind's half on you and half on the dog. But everybody's got a bad habit getting the dog up there and they're doing like this and everything, you know. You'd be better off if you played with him, you know, than you would pulling him with the tail, you know. So you just don't, I don't mess with them, because it does break their concentration. If you keep doing one that way, in ordinary, you'll get him looking around at you, you'll get him flagging, standing there flagging, because his mind's halfway on you and halfway on the bird, and you're intimidating the dog.
Bill, can you talk a little more about that in the sense that a lot of us are looking for classic field trial dogs. Some of these dogs come through, and as you indicated, just aren't going to hold their tail up. And the sooner we as owners find that out about our young dogs, the less dollars we're going to spend on entry fees, and the sooner we're going to get that dog into a hunt dog.
Sure, yeah.
Walk. Now, how do you make that decision? You think a year and a half of age is enough?
Well, you look at the dog, some dogs will never have any class. In other words, he's a dog that when you drown him, kill his tail is down.
Okay, so you think even I'm looking at an age. In other words, sometimes young dogs, just like their nose doesn't really get good until they're a year in age. They don't really start pointing and styling up real good until they're a year and a half of age. Same with their tail. Is there a certain period of time that if the dog's not really putting it up and looking pretty good by a certain age that we should start thinking?
You'll find a dog when he's young will have a tail that he don't have good control of.
Right. That's what
In
I'm
other words, you'll find that.
Right.
And as he gets older, you can see that tail getting better. And he may be when he grows up, he may be a real classy dog. But you can't put a dog down necessarily. But if you look at a dog and his tail comes out of his back, most of the time it comes down like this toward the ground. And don't sit high on his back end back here. He ain't gonna point with it very high. Take his tail like this and pull up on it like I'm doing this dog here. And when that tail comes up right here, and now this little dog could probably point with his tail about like that. it'll never be like that. Cause you can feel the pressure start, see? And that dog's just like your finger, you can't bend it backwards, see? Once it goes back so far, that's as far as it's gonna go. And that's the way the dog is built. Now, this little dog here can point with his tail just about like that, which would be acceptable with his written, you know. It wouldn't look too good if it was a long tail and it was out here like this. It wouldn't look too good, and the written here would look all right. But you can't necessarily tell. Only way you can pick a puppy is try to pick one with his tail set high on his back.
He's little tiny.
Yeah, his tail may work real good, his nose may not be worth nothing, but at least you look good. At least you look good going in, you know.
When the dog gets to be, say, 12 to 18 months, if he's not showing signs of putting that tail up pretty good,
Oh, yeah.
then you probably ought to find him another home.
That's right. In other
The
words, if you
British
look for
standard,
class.
and their standard isn't a straight up
I know,
tail.
but you're looking at the judges that are putting up dogs these days, and they're looking at this, and they're not looking at that. No.
Here,
Bill, when you work a dog like this and it's not responding, you start thinking that it's got a physical impairment.
hey, they'll all respond.
Well, what if they've got a physical problem?
A physical?
Bad hips.
Oh, well, dog with bad hips, and you see dog limping or something, or looking like he's weak in the rear end, well, that's giving you an indication that something's wrong. Or running with both legs together, right together like this. In other words, instead of like this, see, dog running like this, he runs with both legs in underneath him this way. And you'll see some dogs with bad hip, and it'll be the right leg that's bad, and you see him run sideways and carrying all of his weight on one leg. You ever notice that? He'll start carrying his weight on one leg, because this is a good leg, see?
And they're around your legs, and they're over here, and they're over there. Just, how do you get them to stop being so bouncy? And
Take up more of your deal. When he starts to go this way, when he starts to run around that way, you snatch him back this way.
so you have to jerk them and spin them a little bit until they learn that it's not.
Yeah, he's jumping around here like this, running over there, just give him a jerk back over here. Don't say nothing to him. And he runs around you this way, jerk you back this way. In fact, he quit running around, just like taking him around through the bushes. Well, I teach dog to heel, you know, later on, but I'm not one of these heel boys, you know. I used to rub the dog in the AKC trial, and I just walk by and tell him heel, and take the dog away like that, you know, which you gotta do in short hair trials, stuff like that, you know. You can't call the dog. But I teach dogs in that go with you on the horse, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not a guy that takes them and walks right at my side and tell them heel, you know? So a lot of times, guys intimidate their dog, and they're telling him heel, and the dog humped up here by the side of him, looking at him, you know, and scared to death, you know? In other words, if you're gonna teach him to heel, teach him the right way, and have him where you got humped up and look like you don't look. You don't have to be a genius or nothing. In other words, you communicate with the dog through the hands and the action, the way you handle a dog, see? And anybody else got a question?